Hello, Tadeo.
Nania.
I have some questions from our viewers.
All right. Please proceed.
All right. The first question is, do we share reincarnations with the same set of souls in our family or people or spirits? And do we choose who to reincarnate with each time, or is it random?
Well, as we have discussed many times, reincarnation, while it can be created as an experience, isn't mechanically what's happening. Everything exists now. So what you choose for a particular experience in the moment, in the present, and make your connections according to what is relevant for your theme of exploration. So those connections are plugged in, unplugged. It isn't really reincarnation. But from every perspective, you choose what is relevant to connect to for that perspective.
So, from an idea of all things being now, you may have different soul families in every different now, or you have a big soul family, and then different experiences are selected for different members of that soul
Yes,
family.
you can have many different levels of that idea, and you will pick the one, you will connect to the one that is relevant for what you're experiencing as this you. Whereas in parallel realities, the soul families may be very different.
And in the parallel realities, even though those are other versions of me, they're still not me. Right?
You are you, they are they. Each is an individual, unique. Therefore, all things are happening at once, all views, all perspectives, all experiences, and you connect to what is relevant for the experience that you are having as the you know yourself to be in your particular reality.
And the me that I know myself to be in this reality, this is connected with the personality construct of the me
Yes.
that I'm experiencing. And all the other versions have different personality constructs.
Yes, of course, because different personality equals different person. And even
But
though
yet
you may think you look alike, you're not the same person.
and even though we may have similarities, none of them are really essentially me. The only me is the one, or the only me that I relate to is the one that has this personality construct and is having this life theme experience.
Yes, but when you say relate to, you can connect to other versions of yourself, but you will do that from your unique perspective as they will do from their unique perspective.
Do people ever get jealous of their other versions that are having better experiences?
Knowing how things work on Earth, yes, that has happened.
Fascinating. Um, what happens if you don't complete your life path? Like if you don't follow the soul path and that you set up for this lifetime and you don't complete your walk down the hallway, so to speak, what happens? Does that automatically mean you'll reincarnate on Earth in a sense?
No. Again, reincarnation is an illusion. So you will make whatever decision you deem to be appropriate in whatever state you are, whether physical or non-physical, to either continue to learn the idea in a different way or to learn it some other way that is completely different. So the idea really is that you will use what it is you have experienced to your advantage, and you will make your decisions accordingly as to what to experience next.
And in that sense, it would just be a continuous experience then,
Yes,
would it?
of course. You may change your form, but you go on, and the experience of being you in whatever form you're in continues. Because you exist. And time and space are illusions. So no matter what space-time framework or filter you impose upon your consciousness, you are still you in the now. And that's what makes it appear to continue when you interpret the now in a space-time framework, in a space-time way.
So you wouldn't experience necessarily regret about not finishing your life path.
Well, it's not impossible to experience the regret. I'm just simply saying you can use that to your advantage too. But it is not as likely when you go into the spirit realm that you will see it that way.
I see. Yeah, where do we, in a sense, go after we die out of 3D? Like the idea that the soul transitions from the three-dimensional paradigm. And what is the best way to explain in our language where the soul goes or can go?
It goes nowhere. In the classical sense, the mechanical sense, it goes nowhere. You can have an experience of feeling like you're somewhere else, experiencing like you're somewhere else, but that's an arbitrary, illusionary experience. To put it in simple terms, where does a television program go when you change the channel? The vibrations may still be there, the frequency may still be there, the program may still be playing, but you're on a different channel, so you see a different thing. It doesn't go anywhere because there's nowhere to go in its most fundamental response to that question. Everything is here and now. So everyone that has ever lived and ever died, everyone, everywhere, is right here, right now, but it is the frequencies that create a sense of separation so that they become invisible to you. But they're all right here.
So, and the soul itself, that's beyond the higher self. The next level up is the soul, or the soul is connected to the individual personality? How does that work?
The soul is connected to the individual personality and creates the higher mind, non-physically, and the physical mind to have the physical experience.
Okay. So you can never be separated from your soul in a sense. It doesn't
No.
go anywhere different than you. It's always with you in whatever form you're in.
You are always it. It's not with you. You are it. You are the soul.
So when we wake up after we die, so to speak, does our life that we've had fade away like a dream?
No, not at first. You will usually, although there are some exceptions, but you will usually go through what is called life review, which is simply an assessment of what it is you learned, what it is you experienced, and how you can use it to make a decision as to what to do next. Now, you can allow it to fade eventually if certain aspects of it no longer serve you, but it will always be with you and always be accessible if you so desire. It becomes a part of the greater you as an experience. That's what the spirit is. It's the experience that you retain. And so it becomes a part of you, and it's always there to access. Much in the same way that you may have learned something when you were a child, and you may not think about it all the time. It may fade away, but suddenly you may need to remember that particular experience and call upon something you learned from that experience for what you're going through in the present, in your present form. So it's always there. You may not always pay attention. That's your version of it fading away. But when you need to pay attention, the information is accessible. It's always there. It's always a part of you.
So how do our ego and our personality feel about this shift that happens where you're no longer, quote unquote, existing on earth and you're simply a consciousness in spirit?
The question is relatively vague. What do you mean, how do you feel about it? You will feel whatever it is you choose to feel at that point. You will experience whatever it is you choose to experience at that point.
Well, for example, like most people before they die, or if they're in the process of dying, may struggle to stay alive in a sense.
Yes, but you are asking the question from the point of view of being already dead.
Right. So what happens to the ego and the personality when you're dead?
It becomes a part of you, but you're bigger than that. Again, similar to the idea I just explained. What happens to the part of you that is the child learning a lesson in childhood? What happens to it? It's still a part of you. You're just more than that now.